First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County for over 75 years. Customer service is a priority at First Federal Savings Bank, where they want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, products, and services of larger banks with hometown people that you see throughout your community. They live here, they work here, and this community matters to the people at First Federal Savings Bank. First Federal Savings Bank has 4 convenient locations in downtown Lincoln, Bossier City, Denver, and West Lincoln. Stop in and visit and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. The RVer's most trusted resource for over 50 years. That's Campers Inn. Family owned and operated since 1966. And this area's dealer is Campers Inn in Kings Mountain. Campers Inn is the nation's largest family-operated RV dealership, 16 locations up and down the East Coast. From motorhomes to travel trailers and more, from the industry's leading manufacturers, plus award-winning RV sales and service. See hundreds of RVs for the best prices, plus they have certified and trained service personnel and a professional staff with years of RV knowledge. Campers Inn, Highway 161 South and I-85 in Kings Mountain. Tell them Calvin sent you in to the Campers Inn. You're invited to drop by and see our brand new big showroom. Now open at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lincoln. Yes, it's big, it's bright, and it's full of great deals on Chevrolets, Buicks, and GMC trucks. Hey, it's truck month. Come in now and get 0% financing for 60 months, plus $5,500 total cash allowance on the 2017 Chevy Silverado 1500 Crew Cab. Come in for all the details at the all-new Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC truck, 1445 East Main Street, Lincoln.
It's a rainy Wednesday here on WCSL 1590 AM. Tim Johnson and Mr. Ken Link. We're here for the best in sports every Wednesday. Ken, we are on the internet today, YouTube and podcasts. So all you good people out there, if you're tuning in to us, we're not on WCSL today. The Atlanta Braves are playing today. They got rained out last night, Ken. And so we are on the internet for today. So you can still see us and still hear us, Ken, talking about the best in sports.
Yes, look at us and tune us in. And football season is well underway. We got the high school season underway several weeks ago, and this past week we got the college football season underway, Tim. And
big weekend.
Had a lot of big games right out of the gate. A lot of inter-conference games between some of the Power 5 conferences. The ACC, which arguably had the best conference in the nation last year with how they did not only winning the national championship but head-to-head against the SEC, where we had 3 ACC games against the SEC opponents over the weekend. And unfortunately, the ACC dropped all 3, Tim.
Yeah, Ken, I'm telling you, man, the NC State Wolfpack, I was hoping they would pull out a victory against the South Carolina Gamecocks, but Ken, they got beat.
Yes,
in Charlotte, North Carolina.
And, that was a little bit of an upset. A lot of folks thought State may pull that out. A little bit of national attention given to State about their defense and their defensive line, but they lost that to South Carolina, 35-28.
And the big game, of course, of the weekend, Ken, the night game on Saturday night, the Florida State Seminoles taking on the Alabama Crimson Tide, as they call St. Nick down in Alabama, Ken. That was a good football game, but Alabama pulled away.
It was close at highest, but some special teams and some turnovers made the difference in the game, and Alabama ended up winning 24-7. Unfortunately for Florida State, their fine quarterback, DeAndre Francois, got hurt, injured a knee, and he is out for the season.
Yeah, that's a big loss for the Florida State Seminoles. But I tell you, Ken, even though they lost him at the right time at the beginning of the season so they can replace him and get some of the young kids. I don't know who they're going to put in there, but they'll definitely have to find them another quarterback to lead their football team, the Florida State Seminoles.
They got a good defense.
They do.
It's not the end of the world, but it certainly hurts when you lose your top quarterback first game of the season. Another game, Georgia Tech played Tennessee, and it was a barn burner. Tennessee eventually won in double overtime, 42-41. So that was one heck of a game.
Yeah. And I tell you, Ken, one of the guys I work with at work, he's a manager there, Michael Cisco. He went to the University of Tennessee, and he's from Tennessee. Well, he went to that game, and he said, I tell you, Tim, he said, I thought Georgia Tech was going to beat us. He said they should have beaten us, and they played a great game. But like you said, Tennessee, they found a way to win the football game. That's what you do, as a good football team. You find ways to win.
Yes. Another sort of interconference game that the ACC did win, Virginia Tech won their game against West Virginia. So they won that. I think it was 31-24, but they won by a touchdown, so that was a good win for the ACC there. Wake Forest and Duke both had lopsided wins over some opponents that weren't that good, but at least both of them really looks good. They both scored over 40 points, so they did well in their outings. But Carolina Tar Heels playing California there at Chapel Hill did not fare as good. They dropped a 35-30 loss to California, and what was disappointing was we knew they lost a lot on offense, and so we was hoping the defense would really play well early in the year to give the offense time to get going. Unfortunately, the defense did not and gave up 35 points in that loss.
Well, I tell you, one thing good came out of that game is Chaz Surratt, Ken, had a heck of a game. I mean, he did not start the game, and I was listening to some of the coach interview after the game. He said that the game plan was play Brandon Harris for the first and second down, and bring Chaz in on the third down. Haven't understood that yet.
Well, it was on the series.
No, it was a series.
On the series.
Okay, on the series. Okay, excuse me.
The first two series, Harris played, and then the next two, Surratt played. And
okay.
They would sort of alternate in that way.
Sure.
And it was started out that way, Tim. Harris threw an interception in the first half. Chaz did well and led his team for a touchdown there in the first half, and then I think 2 touchdowns. But in the second half, after Harris threw his second interception, they put Chaz Surratt in the rest of the game, Tim, and he finished the game. He was in there for 9 possessions. I think Harris ended up being in there only 4 possessions, and Chaz clearly outplayed him. I watched it on TV. Even the announcers on TV, even the announcers on TV stated after it was over that quarterback controversy in Carolina should be over.
Yeah.
However, Coach Fedora says it's not over yet, but we'll see what happens. But I just want to give you some comparison of some stats from Saturday.
We'll let you good folks decide who the quarterback is.
Stats don't tell you everything, but stats do tell you the truth. And I also gave the eye test because I watched the game on TV, and Chad obviously looked like the best quarterback. But here are the stats.
Before the stats, Ken, like I was saying earlier between the break, I'm surprised that he did as well as he did. Just because of the fact that he was pulled back and forth. And a quarterback has got to get in a rhythm.
Sure he does.
Just like a pitcher's got to get in a rhythm. So if you don't get in a rhythm, and if coach pulls you, does this and that and everything else with you, man, that affects you. That affects the offense, the rhythm of the offense too. So, that to me, I'm surprised that he did as well as he did.
Yeah, and he looked very poised.
Yes, he did.
Here's the stats. Chad Surratt passing 18 out of 28, 161 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Rushing 66 yards with 1 rushing touchdown. He had 227 yards total offense. Directed the Tar Heel offense to 4 touchdowns and 328 total yards.
So that's 28 points right there, Ken.
28 of the 30. Okay? Brandon Harris passing 7 for 16, 60 yards, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. Rushing 5 yards, 66 yards total offense. Directed offense to only 1 field goal, 99 yards. Had a quarterback rating of 7.8. The worst QBR. That's unbelievable, Tim. The worst by any starting quarterback in Fedora's head coaching career.
And he still can't make a decision who his quarterback is. Is that not what you said?
That's what the coach is saying.
So you're telling me you take Chaz's stats, and he was pulled back and forth with Brandon Harris. He got in a rhythm only when he was on the field. And then I guess, Ken, if you can look at it, is just imagine if he played the whole entire game. Imagine what his stats would have been like. And to me, that's a no-brainer, Ken.
Yeah, and I like what Chad said after the game. He said, "Yeah, I made some mistakes as far as communication. Maybe didn't make the right read, the right decision every time." He said, "But." He said the game wasn't too fast for me, and it wasn't too fast for him, Tim. Not only did he have some designated rushing yardage, but several times he was flushed out of the pocket, made some yardage or completed a pass, and looked real comfortable getting away from the rush out there. Looked very, very poised and cool.
Ken, my thing is the key to this topic is 66 yards rushing and a TD, even though the TD was the last of the game. But the 66 yards rushing is huge. You know why? Because somebody's going to have to spy on the quarterback.
Yeah, he's a dual threat.
Yes, absolutely.
And he can run the ball just like in high school. He's got moves. If he takes off,
he's a running back.
He can make people miss and get yardage. He's not just a liability as a quarterback trying to run. He can make things happen when he runs.
So 18 for 28 for 161 yards. This is how I envision Chaz. I think Chaz is going to have 225 yards passing, 250 in between there. 65, 70 yards rushing, Ken.
Yeah, that's what
that's
I think.
Unbelievable.
If they, that's
Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
Is that not Tim Tebow?
That's 300-yard total offense and dual threat, which puts pressure on the defense.
Absolutely. So you're going to have to take a linebacker out of the play of the game to spy on the quarterback.
Yeah, that's what
simple as that.
Yes.
So I mean, I don't know what coach
and Brandon Harris doesn't bring that.
No,
he doesn't bring that.
He can't throw the football. I've always said when I watched him at LSU, when some stuff I read up on, he can't throw the football.
Yeah, his accuracy was his worst part.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, he sort of lived up to that reputation in the game. He threw 2 interceptions.
So
and not only did he throw 2 interceptions, Tim. One time he had a guy wide open in the end zone and overthrew him.
You know, and I don't know Brandon Harris. I know Chaz. We watched him play his whole entire high school career, whether it was football or basketball. But one thing about Chaz is, Ken, he is a leader and he is a competitor. And this kid will not stop. You know, you're not going to stop him. You're not going to break him down mentally wise. He's going to find a way to beat you. He did that in the state championship game a few years ago, the last time they won against that team.
Well, it was very impressive considering his first time in a competitive college football game. He played so well. He was poised.
Sparingly.
He looked comfortable. Like you said, he did not look like a freshman, like, what's going on out here.
He's prepared himself.
He didn't look like it was too big of a stage for him. It did not at all.
Well, this is how you got to look at it. This is how I've always told my boys when they play ball. You're compete. You're going to compete, and in order to compete, you got to get yourself ready to go in the game and play the game. So he did his homework. He's worked the off season. He worked on the little things that make him better. Whether somebody said he lost some weight to make him faster and quicker. You know, which that's what he probably needs. You know, because the game he's going to be playing against the top notch athletes in.
Well, guess who they play this week? They play Louisville and the Heisman Trophy winner.
There you go.
And so. They'll have to put a lot of points on the board to keep up with Louisville, and I don't think he can do it with Harris. So we'll see what happens. We'll see who he starts. We'll see what Fedora actually does in the game. Yeah. But I'll be thoroughly disappointed if Chaz is not the one he goes in with.
He needs to start this week.
He does need to start.
If they're going to rotate quarterbacks,
Harris started this week. Y'all start Chaz this week.
Well, I'll ask you a question, Ken, and this is a great information you got for our show here. If some reason that Chaz starts and he plays well, he drives them down the field, scores a touchdown. Okay, are you going to you're going to rotate him? I mean, what are you going to do here? I mean,
I don't know. He says one thing, but I saw what he did Saturday, Tim. After that second interception, Chaz went in, and Harris never saw the field again.
Well, I tell you this much right now: he is a special athlete.
Yes, he is a special athlete, and that. Yeah, he had a lot of accolades coming out, and they said everybody's waiting on this dual threat, and what's he going to do? Well, he showed what he can do, Tim.
He's special.
He's a redshirt freshman, but I think the era
4 more years with him.
The era of Chaz Surratt is starting. It started this past Saturday.
I agree with you. 100%. So congratulations to Chaz on a great game from the best in sports, and we're pulling for him. We're going to keep you updated all year long on Chaz Surratt and the University of North Carolina Tar Heels here on WCSL 1590 and the best in sports. Great job. All righty, we have some more college scores for interest. Michigan beat Florida. And that was a pretty good game, Ken, going until Michigan's kind of took over. The Michigan quarterback threw 2 interceptions for return for touchdowns.
Yeah, early on in that game.
Yep.
Florida was playing with a handicap. They had suspended 10 players before the game. A lot of them were starters for disciplinary reasons. And so they were a little bit short-handed, but Florida still got a lot of athletes, so
yes,
I wouldn't use that as excuse. But Michigan probably was a better team, and they did win that game. Another game that was very interesting: UCLA defeats Texas A&M 45-40. Now that's a high-scoring game, but the amazing thing about it was in the third quarter, Texas A&M led 44-10. And lost the football game.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
Now they're calling for the coach's job. Kevin Sumlin.
That is amazing that you were behind 34 in the fourth quarter and you win the game.
Well, you know, Johnny Manziel put Texas A&M on the map, and he also helped coach down there too, Coach Kevin Sumlin, the head coach at Texas A&M. Let me ask you a question. Is it possible that Kevin Sumlin might be overrated?
Could be. I know there's not a lot of defense played down there.
No.
I know that for a fact.
They believe in scoring. So is it possible? Think about it. After Johnny Manziel left, I think the last season he played was like 11-2, I believe it was. Yeah. When he left after that, they were like 8-5, 8-5, 8 or 8 and whatever, and 8-4.
Well, they've been mediocre since that.
Yes.
Mediocre since that's happened. So
the house that Johnny Manziel built.
Yeah, they made that. Maybe that house will fall. Who knows? well, Johnny's been falling a little bit.
He's been falling. Yeah, we've been falling. Yeah. So, but anyway, Georgia defeated Appalachian State 34-10. Don't know much about that game. I know that Georgia's pretty good from what I hear.
Georgia pretty much took charge right out of the gate, and I think they scored a late touchdown that did Appalachian State. But obviously Georgia the better team, and they were prepared for Appalachian. They didn't take them for granted like some teams named Michigan and Tennessee did. They almost upset Tennessee last year. Another game that's of interest because of locally around here is Cam Newton's brother, Kalen Newton, a freshman at Howard this year, a quarterback. He engineered Howard to a 43-40 upset victory over UNLV. He had a 330 yards total offense. Howard going into the game was a 45-point underdog.
Wow.
Now that's what you call it.
Yeah, that's an upset right there. 45-point underdog on the parlay card.
Yeah,
Vegas having 4,500.
I think it said if you'd have bet $100, you would won $50,000 on that because of the odds.
Because of the odds, that's unbelievable. Did you bet him money?
I did not.
No, I'm telling you, man. So Cam, and the thing about Kalen Newton, Cam's brother, is he's only 5'11", 185 pounds.
Yeah, he's not as tall as Cam. Obviously, not a big specimen as Cam, but I saw a little bit of the footage, and he's quick. 190 of those, 190 yards rushing of that 330.
Absolutely. All righty, congratulations to Kalen Newton and the Howard University there, Ken, defeating the UNLV Running Rebels, as they call them.
Now, they had them running, I believe.
They sure did. All righty, Tim Johnson, Ken Ling, the best in sports. We're on YouTube, Internet Today, podcast. Join us. We'll be back after these commercials here on WCSL 1590 AM. Tim Johnson, Ken Ling. We'll be back.
Just arrived at LA Motorsports in Lincoln. Street Legal Factory Golf Carts. Come in and see the Street Legal Classic 4 or the Street Legal Forester AC4. Both Street Legal straight from the factory. Complete with built-in battery charger, Trojan batteries, and fully loaded. And with a 2-year warranty. Financing is available with no money down. Payments around $115 per month. Come in for the details. Get your new golf cart today. Street Legal at LA Motorsports. 3636 East Highway 27 in Lincoln. Online at lamotorsports.com. Alcom Storage on Digbeam Road in Cherryville is proud to be a sponsor of local high school and American Legion sports. We salute all of our local athletes on a job well done. And if you need storage space, see Alcom Storage. You'll find all sizes right for your storage needs. All units are lighted with security cameras and monthly extermination. Be sure to check our prices. Alcom Storage, located at 235 Digbeam Road in Cherryville. Just call 704-435-8803 for Alcom Storage today.
There's only one place to go for expert auto and truck repair in this area, All Ray Tire at 140 Main Street, Cherryville. Soon to start another location across the street at 500 Main Street. Known for North Carolina inspections, brakes, oil changes, tires, and more, All Ray is soon to offer car and truck detailing and accessories for your car or truck. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. Call 704-802-4048 to schedule your next oil change or brake service. All Ray Tire, Cherryville, proud supporters of local American Legion baseball and high school.
Beam Construction Company in Cherryville is now hiring. Right now, Beam Construction Company has job openings for carpenters and masons. Just apply at their office at 601 East Main Street in Cherryville. Since 1925, Beam Construction Company has been dedicated to building the future of the Piedmont regions of North and South Carolina, from schools to churches to town halls. For more information, call 704-435-3206 or visit the website at beamconstruction.com. Beam Construction Company, dedicated to building your future. From auto to home to business to life insurance, your hometown agent is Rocky Bennett at Bennett Insurance Group. Rocky has been serving this area for over 33 years, offering you the best in coverage with Erie Insurance. No matter your claim, Rocky will work side by side with you for your best coverage. See Rocky Bennett today at Bennett Insurance Group, 116 West Main Street in Cherryville. Call 704-435-0270 for Bennett Insurance in Cherryville. Ready for a new ride? Then see Justin and Rick of the Car Store in Cherryville. Right now on the line, a 2009 Toyota RAV4, 90,000 miles, priced at $10,900. Also a 2002 Toyota Tacoma SR5 with V6 engine and 140,000 miles, priced at $12,500. Drive in style with a 2007 Cadillac Escalade, all-wheel drive, 108,000 miles for $20,000. And a 2005 Honda Accord LX local car, 142,000 miles, $69.95. See Justin and Rick today at the Car Store, 1801 Lincoln and Highway 150 East in Cherryville.
Okay, Ken Link and Tim Johnson back on the Best in Sports show here on a rainy Wednesday afternoon. We are going to talk some more sports, but I'd first like to say a word, Tim, about a favorite place for you and I to go eat. Woo, tell me about it. And every Wednesday we sat down and eat, and I've yet to order anything, Tim, that I felt like I could eat every bit of it because they bring you such big portions, and that's Max Grill here in Cherryville. They have some great food down there, and Tim always say, try this, try that, and everything's good, but it's always such big portion, I feel like I'm going to get fat.
Now, I want everybody out there to know, the Ken's been walking here lately, so did you buy some new walking shoes?
I got a couple pair I've been using, so.
See, that's what Max Grill do for you. It'll make you walk. It'll make you walk.
Yeah, that's another benefit, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. So Arnon and April and all the girls there, and Smokey, of course. Smokey had a birthday a while back, and Arnon had a birthday last Friday. So anyway, yeah, great food, great spirits, great atmosphere. I'm telling you, the best hamburgers you'll ever eat in your life, and that's at Max Grill in Cherryville. Yeah. All righty, Kenny, we have some NFL news for you, and I know you're excited. I'm excited because Cowboys are going to let Ezekiel Elliott play this coming Sunday night. So, Ken, the season kicks off tomorrow night with the Chiefs and Patriots game.
Chiefs and Patriots Thursday night game is going to kick the whole thing off, and so that'll be a good game. A big rivalry there between those two in the AFC. So that'll be a good one to kick it off. I'm sure it'll have a national audience with a lot of people. We'll see whether Brady and his bunch there can put some points on the board. They're missing their fine receiver Edelman, who went down with the ACL injury and is lost for the year. So we'll see how
that's going to be a big loss. That's a big loss for the Patriots. I mean, that was his right-hand man.
Yeah, he was solid, and always seemed to know how to get open, Tim.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Ken, are they playing at the Patriots?
Yes.
New England? That's what I figured.
Playing in New England. So that'll be tomorrow night, and that'll kick off everything. And then we'll have the Sunday games coming up. But one game that won't be played, Tampa Bay against Miami, has been canceled, Tim, because of the approaching hurricane. And I don't know when that will be replayed, but it will not be played Sunday with the hurricane.
Ken, I heard, I think it was November the 14th.
Is that what it
That's
is?
what I think. Now, I'm pretty sure it's what the NFL Network was saying. I think it's November the 14th. It's going to be replayed. So please don't hold it against me. But it seemed like that's what I got a text message from what they were saying. So yeah, that game will be rescheduled. And I know me and you were talking in between the break, about the hurricane itself. I had heard, Ken, that Sunday and Monday is supposed to be pretty bad here for here in Cherryville and in the Lincoln County area, and as well as the Gaston County area.
Yeah, it's unpredictable. We know it's heading toward Florida, and it doesn't look good for those folks down there. In fact, they've already started evacuations down there, and I understand that the gas station was out of gas in Miami. Everybody's trying to fill up and get out of there. It's unpredictable. You don't know exactly what it's going to do when it hits land and what direction it's going to take, but certainly it could come up our way and affect us here in this area as well. But our prayers and thoughts for the folks down there in that area in Florida, as well as all the folks in Houston's recovering from the other storm.
Absolutely. Also, running back Zeke Elliott, 6-game suspension was upheld. The attorneys for Elliott will file for a restraining order in federal court by Friday. They expect the judge to grant the order, which would mean Elliott can play out the 2017 season until things are settled in court.
Sounds like a similar situation with the Brady situation.
Yes.
Where that was filed, and it took a while to reconcile it in court. As it turned out, Brady still had to serve a suspension. Now, I don't know how it's going to work out for Elliott, but it sounds like if they get the restraining order, he can play this year for sure.
Ken, we'll get a little bit more detail about that when we do our Cowboys update, but I mean, the lady from the NFL, Kia Roberts, and Lisa Frill. Lisa Frill is Kia Roberts, I guess you say, boss lady. Well, she appointed her to take care of that case and to investigate and so forth. So she was the leading investigator. Well, she came out in a statement and said that Ezekiel Elliott was, she said she could not find him at all for any fault whatsoever pertaining to the domestic violence case. She said she couldn't, suspend him. She said so she put in for no suspension because of the credibility of the young lady, the accuser who accused Elliott of domestic violence. Said there's just too many loopholes, too many,
Well, the person who did the accusing, she does not the most upstanding citizen.
No.
But you get into, what was her motives, and was she trying to squeeze something out of him or blackmail him or something like that. And she may have been doing that for sure, but it still gets down to, was there domestic violence? And the police who investigated said that they could not find enough evidence to charge him.
Both police departments, Florida and Ohio State.
But they also said, in their opinion, there probably was domestic abuse, but there wasn't enough evidence.
There wasn't enough evidence to prove against him.
Now, then you got the NFL. Yeah. They take a different look at it, Tim.
And we're not lawyers or attorneys by no means.
But NFL is saying we're not the Justice Department, but because of what we are, we think there's a problem there, and we think, I used the word think there was domestic.
Assume.
And there may not be enough evidence to prove it in a court of law, but that's where you get into this.
Should he be on the football field? Should he be on the football field?
And the NFL says no because we're making an example out of him. Should they do that? Probably not,
Well, what they're doing is they're making an example of some of the stuff he did before that.
Yeah,
they pulled down the girls. Yes.
Yeah. But I understand, didn't they say at one time during this whole process there were some photos with bruises, and
they had a doctor who analyzed that and looked at it and said, there's no way you could tell when those bruises are by photos. You can't go by photos of a bruise.
Well, no, like I say, you got the bruises, but there's no way to say where they come from.
Well, the bottom line is, if you're in a domestic violence situation with a partner, go to the police department. You get right away. Get out of it.
Yeah, I agree.
So she didn't want to get out of it. So even if it was, Ken. So anyway, we'll get more on that coming up. But the Denver Broncos, they re-signed Brock Osweiler for the league minimum of $775,000. Ken.
Yeah,
it came from Denver. Now he's back with Denver.
And the thing about Cleveland, he was guaranteed $16 million this year. So Cleveland's going to have to pay the rest of that $16 million. So they got to have to pay $15.25 million, and they don't even have him anymore. So questionable. Why did they Well, I don't understand that. Why
Can this guy play? Can this guy play?
I don't know, but they cut him and got to pay $16 million. It didn't make any sense to me. But
well, I mean, he started his career with the Denver Broncos, and he had on and off good performances, stuff like that, because Peyton Manning was hurt. Now, here's the thing, Ken. You got Peyton Manning, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, Hall of Fame, first ballot Hall of Fame football player. He is the starting quarterback, and you're the second string quarterback. Well, he's going to make you better.
No, sure he is.
Because of his knowledge of the game, his wisdom. So, therefore, you take him away from that environment, you take him down to Texas, where Houston signed him for this astronomical money, thinking he's going to be the next great quarterback. He don't even. I mean, he's nothing. I mean, he don't even pan out.
And now he's back.
So now he's gone.
And now he's back to Denver, where he was a while back, and they said, but he's not going to be the starter. He's probably going to be backup. So it's a little bit crazy with the quarterbacks.
Well, he went to Kevin Hastings' Cleveland Browns team. So he went to Kevin Hastings' Cleveland.
Honestly, the Browns got more money than they got since, because they went ahead and paid $16 million for that.
I'll make that point. He went to Kevin Hastings' Cleveland Browns team. All right. So don't let nobody. If anybody's out there listening, Kevin Hastings is a Cleveland Browns fan. All right. We will make that point.
Well, he is this year. He is this year. He might be one of those fair weather guys.
We love Kevin. We love him. That's Andre's best friend. Either way.
All right, Ken. That's what some of the stuff happening now. Tim and I are going to dive a little bit into two well-known teams, the Panthers, who's obviously the team of this area, and the Cowboys.
Now, wait a minute now. Time out now. You said it. Now, why can't the Cowboys be the team in this area, too?
Well, they are for a lot of people.
All right.
There's a lot of Cowboy fans. In fact, my wife's a Cowboy fan.
Well, she's a good woman.
I don't know why.
She's a smart woman.
She don't care that much about sports or football, but she's a Cowboys fan for some reason.
We need to bring her on the show, Ken. We're going to replace you with her.
I don't think she'd come. But anyway.
All right, Ken, give me some Panthers update. Give me some stuff going on.
Okay, here's what's going on with the Panthers. They finally finalized their 53-man roster, and they made a couple moves this week. They made a trade, bringing a quarterback, Devon Seymour, and they picked up two rookies off the waivers after everybody's cut. They picked up a quarterback, Brad Kaya, and a safety, Demetrius Cox, and both these guys improved their depth. They don't have that good a depth in the secondary, and so two of those was that. The quarterback, Derek Anderson, the backup quarterback to Cam. This is his last year. So I don't know that they'll sign last year of his contract. I don't know that they'll sign him again.
He'll be back.
They're looking to develop a younger guy.
Yes.
And so that's the reason they grabbed this guy who was drafted in by the Lions in the 6th round this year. He was supposed to go in about the 3rd or 4th projected, but some reason they passed on him, and the Lions had him, but he played pretty well in preseason, but the Lions cut him, and they picked him up.
Why did they let Joe Webb go? I just want to know why. I mean, Anderson did not have a good preseason. I didn't think.
No, Webb outplayed him. There's no doubt about that.
So why would they let him go for?
I don't know. I think he's been in the league 7 or 8 years, and he was a valuable guy in that he was 3rd-string quarterback plus.
Does he not play the game a lot like Cam Newton? He runs.
Well, he plays on special teams. He's a good athlete, and he does. He's like Cam, where he can escape the rush and run and make some yardage. But for some,
Derek Anderson can't do that.
That was a surprise cut. I guess they thought he would never
pan out,
be a good backup quarterback. He hadn't actually thrown a pass in a game since 2011.
So here's what they're thinking, Ken. I'm assuming this. I'm thinking, okay, we got Cam Newton. Nobody's going to take his spot. So let Joe Webb go, and then we'll keep Derek Anderson, and then at the end of the year, we'll go out and draft us a quarterback to possibly maybe on down the road when Cam take his spot
and
in the future.
Gilbert, the guy who also played in preseason and probably outplayed Anderson, a guy they brought in, they got him on the practice squad. So they actually got 2 young guys, I think, to maybe try to work on developing as a backup from Cam rather than Anderson after this year. So that's what you go. Now, Anderson did not look good in preseason. I certainly hope Cam stays healthy, and we don't have to get into backup quarterbacks this year. A lot of teams are are not in good shape if they got to go to backup quarterback. Let me just say that. So, Panthers not unique in that situation.
Well, one thing Panthers did do, they added some speed, Ken, and I agree with you there on offense. McCaffrey, Curtis Samuel, and Damian Byrd. They have they've got some speed. They got some weapons.
They do. Byrd, South Carolina product, has been around a couple years on the practice squad. Excellent speed, and he really played better this year as far as wide receiver. He's a good return guy. And then you throw McCaffrey and Samuel in there. Those guys are explosive. It's going to make a huge difference on the offense with that kind of explosion on the team and in the return game as well. So I'm tickled to death with that kind of speed that's been added on the offensive side. They needed that. Also, you got Kevin Benjamin, who's been up and down.
He's played well.
He's played well in preseason. There were some concerns about his weight early on, but he has slimmed down. He looked good. And Tim, during training camp, he lost his mother. She died suddenly. And he has been very serious. He's playing hard, and he came out yesterday and said, I'm dedicating this season to my mother. He has seemed to be mature and serious. I look for him to be a bang-up job this year. I look for him to be a different kind of player this year.
Well, that's sad to hear about his mother.
And you got a big guy.
We wish him luck.
Yep.
Yeah, we
got a big guy like him. Then you got Greg Olsen. Everybody knows how good he is at tight end. There's two big guys, and you got speed to go with them.
Here's one thing, Ken. Greg Olsen cannot be your leading receiver. He's a tight end. To me, you need a receiver like a Benjamin, or somebody. You need a wide receiver to be your leading receiver because he takes the top off your defense. If your tight end is your leading receiver, to me that's not good.
And that's sort of been. That describes some of the weakness
absolutely
the Panthers had in the wide receiver spots the last couple of years.
So hopefully,
right.
To me, you look at your Atlanta Falcons. They got Julio Jones. He's all world. He's a great receiver. Super Bowl. And they should have won it. You look at Brady. Their wide receiver stuff like that. To me, Gronk is one of the, without a doubt, one of the greatest. But he can't be your leading receiver every time. That's going to hurt your. Down the road, they could double him. They could do a lot of stuff to him.
So here's the thing, and they did. It made it difficult for Olsen
on receiver
because they would double team him. Now Tim, with McCaffrey and Samuel, and I think Benjamin's going to be better. They're going to spread it around.
Sure.
Olsen's going to be really good like he always is, but he won't get as many catches because they will spread it around.
I think you're right. I think
and he won't get quite as many yardages because they will spread it around. The Panthers, by the way, did take care of updating his contract for incentive. They gave him $2 million worth of incentives. If he meets the incentives, he'll get the money. And he was sad. It was sort of a compromise. He had a little bit of contract dispute. They didn't think he was getting paid what he was performing on the field. So they did that in the last week of it. But you're exactly right. I think they're going to spread it around, and McCaffrey's going to catch a lot of balls. He's going to catch some out of the backfield because he is the mismatch. He is somebody they can't match up well against. And I'm not saying he's going to go out there and catch 8 or 10 a game.
65 a year, 65.
But he's out there. He'll catch 50 to 65, in my opinion. And the Panthers have never thrown that much to backs out of the backfield.
If he can touch the ball,
they can't.
If he could touch the ball 20 times a game, 15 to 20 times a game, they're going to be hard to beat.
And by the way, they will have him returning punts. There's some controversy about, do you want to do that? He might get hurt. Hey, he's returning them all during his college career. He's a dangerous guy back there. I say let him return them, and they're going to have him returning punts, not kickoff, but punts.
Just punts, yeah. Okay. And also, Ken, I see where you got the defense will be stronger too. You got the best linebacker crew in the NFL, Very strong up front with the addition of Peppers to go along with the defensive ends. Addison, Johnson, defensive tackles, Short, Lutule, and Butler. I take
that's
a strong front seven right there, Kenny, and I agree with you. Of course, you got, to me, Luke Kuechly, hands down, when he's healthy, the best linebacker in football.
I'm not making excuses for the Panthers. A lot went wrong last year. They didn't play well. Obviously, their secondary had rookies back there, but they had injuries with Kuechly. They had injuries with Ryan Khalil at center, and Cam was banged up most of the year as well, and we found out he had shoulder problems at the end of the year. So they had a lot of injuries to go along with a lot of things that went wrong last year.
Absolutely, Ken. So, Big things out of Panthers this year.
I think so. I think the rookie corners are going to be better in the secondary. I'm real concerned about the secondary depth, but outside of that, I feel really good about the Panthers this year.
I tell you what, it starts with the quarterback. He's got to have a good year, Ken.
I think he will. The offensive line is better, Tim. That's going to make a big difference.
Absolutely. All right, going to take a short commercial break, and we'll be back right here on The Best in Sports, 1590 AM. Tim Johnson, Ken Link.
When you need a dentist you can depend on and trust, think of Dr. John Les Cloninger. Les is the longest practicing of the Cloninger family of dentists. The office of Dr. John Les Cloninger will work with you and your insurance, and new patients are welcome. For preventative, cosmetic, and restorative dental care for your family, come to Les Cloninger. Located on Magnolia Street, just off Laurel, behind Town & Country Shopping Center in Lincoln. Call 704-732-3336. Open Monday through Thursday. Dr. John Les Cloninger.
Acre Enterprises in Cherryville is having a sale on metal roofing. Get ready for summer storms with a new metal roof. 12-foot wide red or green metal roofing with a 10-year warranty is now just $20 a sheet. 12-foot silver Galvalume with a 25-year warranty, just $18 a sheet. And 21-foot white or green sheets with a 10-year warranty, just $38 a sheet. Acre Enterprises will beat anyone else's price on metal roofing, guaranteed. See Acre Enterprises, 1220 Shelby Road, Cherryville, right across from Food Line. Online at acrecarports.com. Your CarQuest dealer is Eddie's Auto Parts. And now Eddie's Auto Parts is your authorized dealer for Summit Racing Equipment, plus rough country lift kits. Get your lawnmower batteries and automotive detailing and cleaning supplies too. So race on in to Eddie's Auto Parts, 2514 East Main Street in Lincoln.
When you want some help from a fellow car lover, it's all in one place, as you'll discover. Roll in to CarQuest and roll on.
We're back here with The Best in Sports. Tim Johnson and Ken Link every Wednesday on 1590 AM, KTC Broadcasting, WhatsAppShopper.com. You can also catch us on podcasts as well. So, like for all our listeners out there to join in, we talk a little bit of high school, college, of course, all your professional sports as well. So, Ken, we're going to dive right into the Max Grill Cherryville High School football Ironman. They played the West Lincoln Rebels this past Friday night, Ken, and they got defeated 52-20 on this past Thursday night, Ken.
Yeah, it was a big rivalry game, and it was a close game for the first half. It was like 20-14 at half. West Lincoln leading by 6 points. There were some mistakes made by Cherryville in the first half, penalties and that kind of thing, or it could have been even closer at half. But third quarter, West Lincoln scored, took the initial kickoff, went down and scored to go up 2 touchdowns, and then Cherryville was driving, Tim. They were on like the 10-yard line, 4th down, and they threw a pass trying to score, and it was intercepted at the goal line and returned 100 yards for a touchdown. And that broke the game open there.
Yes, I was going to say that probably broke the camel's back, as they say. And then Nathan Hull, who is the Rebel defensive back who returned that 100 yards, Ken. He was also the first federal Lincoln County Student Athlete Football Player of the Week. Mr. Nathan Hull of West Lincoln Rebels, congratulations to him. Had a sensational game, Ken. So, yeah, you're right. Cherryville hurt themselves with a lot of penalties at key times in the game. Also, understand Cherryville's missing 3 players due to injury. And I
think he got worn down the second half. They got a lot of guys playing both ways, and they were even more shorthanded because of missing those 3 guys. And I think they really got worn down the second half, and the game got away from them. But they played West Lincoln pretty tough for a good period of time.
Yeah, halfback Justin Lemons from Cherryville Ironman had 110 yards and 28 carries. And Matt King caught 2 TD passes from quarterback Jacob Harden. He's had a good – he's throwing the ball pretty good, Jacob Harden.
Yeah, he threw 2 touchdowns and missed the guy the first half. He could have maybe had another touchdown pass. So they're throwing the ball a little bit down there, mixing that in with Lemons and the run. Yes,
I like what Coach Tim Pruitt's doing with the Cherryville Ironman. They played this Friday night. They played Drone, who was 0-3 this past week. I'm like you, Ken. I expect Cherryville to go up there and get their second win of the season.
I think they can. They played, like I said, they played well. I think they'll have some of those players back that was out with injury, and I look for them to get the win against Strong.
Well, West Lincoln's a pretty good football team this year, Ken. They're a top 3, top 4 team in the conference, in the South Fork Conference. So, Cherryville, they took it on the chin from, like you said last week, it was right around the corner. These kids, they grow up together, they play against together, they know each other. The schools ain't no more than, 8 miles apart. Yeah. So, it's the backyard against the backyard. And so, West Lincoln's got a good football team this year, and we're going to talk more about them on the first Federal.
And I think Cherryville, their schedule eases up a little bit. They play Drone this week, and then they get into their conference schedule where they play 1A teams that show on the caliber they are. I look for them to they'll beat Drone, string together a few wins here.
Yes. And I know Tim Pruitt, he's coaching them kids up, and his coaching staff there at Cherryville. So we're awfully excited for Coach Pruitt, and we're going to get him on the show here in the next couple of weeks and talk a little bit more about the Cherryville Ironman and the football program too here on the Best in Sports. So some great info there for the Cherryville Ironman. So and if you have any questions or anything like that, you can always contact us here at WCSL. We'd be glad to talk about the Cherryville Ironman anytime. The football team, I'm telling you, Ken, good football team, and like I say, they're going to pull away. They're going to put some wins together, string some out for us this season. All right, Kenny, we're going to jump right into some Major League Baseball.
Baseball, my favorite topic, baseball.
And my Cleveland Indians, Ken.
The Cleveland Indians are hot.
I'm telling you, man.
They have won 12 straight, Tim. They are taking no prisoners.
Who's the best team in baseball right now, Ken?
Well, it might be those Indians. They're playing the best right now, that's for sure.
Tony Francona, Tito
Francona.
I'm telling you, man, he's got them boys playing good. I'm telling you.
They're hot. The Diamondbacks are hot. They've won 12 in a row.
Yes, they are.
And those Dodgers, they've got the best record in baseball and just been running away. All of a sudden, they've hit the skids, Tim. They've lost 10 out of the last 11 games, and that is not
so what's
good.
going on with the Dodgers?
Well, they've had some injuries. Some of the pitchers not pitching as well. I know the shortstop, Siegler is out with an arm injury, and he said he's going to play through it, but he plays shortstop, and you got an arm injury at shortstop. That's not a good thing. So they're just not playing as well now. Teams get hot and cold. You will be hot at the end of the season.
Right, you're right.
But we want to get into the little bit of these races and wild card races. But a couple of news this past week, the Houston Astros getting ready for those playoffs, traded some minor league prospects to get Justin Verlander because they're thinking about those short series and needing to pitch it. And so that's a good get for them. They need that.
He's an excellent pitcher. He comes from the Detroit Tigers organization. He's been with the Tigers for his whole entire career. Great pitcher, and he would definitely help the Astros. There's no doubt about it.
And the Angels, who are fighting for a wild card, they traded to get Justin Upton from the Tigers and also Brandon Phillips from the Braves. And that's going to help them because they're in there fighting, trying to get in those playoffs for a wild card. Another bit of news that happened Monday night that doesn't happen very often. J.D. Martinez, who, by the way, used to be with the Tigers early in the year also, hit 4 home runs for the D-backs in a 13-0 win over the Dodgers. Now, that shows you a hot team and a cold team, 13-0.
Wow.
But congratulations to him. He tied the record that's tied by a good many players in baseball. Nobody's ever hit 5 in the major leagues. But many of it 4, and he put his name in the record book Monday night.
And Stanton's got, 53 home runs for the Marlins?
And still swinging.
He's still swinging. He's got 20 games to go?
Yeah, he may get 60. In fact, I wouldn't bet against him.
I wouldn't bet against him. He'll definitely get 60. I would say that. So your American League, Astros lead the Angels by 13.5 games. Indians lead the Twins by 12. Red Sox over the Yankees by 3.5. And your standings in the American League wild card race, we're going to go through that for all your listeners out there. Yankees 74-64. Angels 2 games back, 72-67. Twins about 3 games back, 71-67. Orioles 71-58. Rangers and Rays. Rangers 69-68, Rays 70-70, and your Nationals lead the Marlins by 17 games, and like Ken said, the Dodgers lead the Diamondbacks by 11.5 games, but like Kenny was saying, the Dodgers they lost, how many, 10 out of the last
10 out of the last 11. Their lead over the D-backs here about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago was 20-something.
They'll win the division.
They'll win the division, but they're not playing well right now.
So the Cubs lead the Brewers by 3.5. So that's going to be a tight race. And the wild card race, the Diamondbacks, 81 games. Diamondbacks will win the wild card. They'll be one of them. The Rockies, Brewers, and Cards, Ken, what you're saying is separation of 2 to 3 games.
They're fighting it out. The Rockies was way ahead, but they've took a dip recently, and so it's up for grabs as far as that second wild card in both leagues now.
Ken, let's hit the NASCAR news, and we're going to go to a commercial break, and we're going to come back with some Cowboys news before we leave. NASCAR news, Denny Hamlin wins the Bojangles Southern 500 in Darlington.
Yeah, that's a big win for him to get into the chase, and I think there's one more race before they actually get into the playoff run.
So that's pretty good for Denny Hamlin. So he's a FedEx guy, so that's me. I'm FedEx. So also Kyle Busch came in second. Martin Truex Jr. Ken
still leads everything, the points and the playoff points.
That's not bad. All righty, we're going to take a small break and be back with some Dallas Cowboys right here on The Best in Sports.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County for over 75 years. Customer service is a priority at First Federal Savings Bank, where they want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, products, and services of larger banks with hometown people that you see throughout your community. They live here, they work here, and this community matters to the people at First Federal Savings Bank. First Federal Savings Bank is 4 convenient locations in downtown Lincoln, Bossier City, Denver, and West Lincoln. Stop in and visit and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Sunday lunch can only mean one thing, a trip to Mitchem's Kitchen in Vale, of course, for their famous fried chicken. Try their Sunday lunch special for only $7.29. Select from fried chicken, chicken rice and gravy, or barbecue, with the freshest vegetables including green beans, mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, baked beans, and more. All topped off with one of their famous desserts. Come out this Sunday for some good old home cooking. Mitchem's Kitchen, Highway 27 West at the 274 intersection in Vale.
The Orange Opportunity Sales Event is underway at Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain. Come in now and ask about 0% financing for 84 months on select Kubota tractors with a big 6-year warranty. Come on in for all the details, and don't miss it. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event underway now at Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive off the Oak Grove Road and Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain.
Tim Johnson back on the Best in Sports on this Wednesday afternoon. Been talking a lot of sports from football to baseball, and I want to hear something about those Dallas Cowboys. And we've got an expert right in here in the station with us. Tim Johnson has got the word.
All righty, Kenny, my Dallas Cowboys. They play Sunday night against the New York Football Giants here, Ken. So it's going to be a great football game. It's going to be Dallas offense against the New York Giants' defense. Yes, the Giants do have some offensive weapons. Odell Beckham Jr. They've improved. They got a tight end that came from Mississippi, I believe it is really good, really good. He's going to be a force to reckon with. I can't think of his name, but he is. Ole Miss might be from Ole Miss, where he's from, but he's really good. Also, they got him in the first round. They got the Giants have another brand. Let's see, who was it they picked up in all season? Brandon, kid from. They got him from the Jets, Ken, wide receiver to pair with Odell Beckham Jr. He's good too. He's good football. Brandon Marshall. So it is Brandon Marshall. Yes, sir. So and he also played with the Denver Broncos as well.
Yes.
But my Cowboys, they got some weapons too, Ken.
Oh, they got a few on offense. They
got a couple weapons too. Dez Bryant is going to have probably the best year he's ever had. I'm going to say Dez Bryant's going to have the best year he's ever had. He is in great shape. He's healthy. And for the last 2 years, he hasn't been healthy. He is healthy. He's looked great in preseason. Cole Beasley is always a force to reckon with. He has become the Edelman of the Patriots for the Dallas Cowboys. Switzer, he's another one. He's going to have a great season.
I heard that he is the primary returner for the Cowboys.
He is.
And it sounds like he'll be in there for part of the offense. He will be. Some schemes as well.
Oh, yes. They'll take Witten off the field and put those two. And then again, they might take the running back off the field and then have Witten, Switzer, Cole Beasley. Then you have Williams on the outside and Dez too. So, in that situation, your linebackers going to have to cover Beasley and Switzer. That ain't going to happen.
It's going to be a tough job to keep up those guys.
Well, you know what's going to happen is they're going to try to shut them two down. But where's old Jason Witten?
Yeah, and Dez Bryant.
And Dez Bryant and Terrence Witten. So they've got weapons all over the field. Actually, this could be the best offensive team that Dallas has ever had in the history of football.
Now, the big question, Tim, is how's that defense going to be on the other side of the football?
They're going to be good. And here's what I think. They're going to struggle at first, but they're going to be good. They're going to keep them in the game. The quarterbacks and the safeties and stuff, the new kids, it's going to take him, Ken. You're looking at maybe after November, maybe the 1st of December for these kids start getting locked in. They're going to take their bumps and bruises. They're going to give up some points. But Dallas is going to run the football, and that's where Ezekiel Elliott comes in. He's going to have a big game. I think he's going to have a big night against the Giants come this Sunday night. And I tell you what I think. The coach of the Giants has already got bulletin board, material.
Yeah.
You see that?
I heard he was giving them a little bit.
So I like that. I think Dallas is going to put it on them. I really do.
You think it'll be a close game or not? You don't think it's going to be a close game?
I think they'll beat them by 10 points.
Where's that game at?
At Dallas. I think it'll be by 10 points. I think Dallas is on a mission. Ezekiel Elliott in a situation.
That's a Sunday night game, right?
That's a Sunday night game.
Okay.
Friday at 5 p.m., the judge will have to make a decision in Texas whether he's going to allow the injunction or not for the Cowboys to place the NFLPA to place the restraining order. Is that correct, Ken?
Yeah, and I think he will. That's what most people expect, that he will grant the restraining order, and eventually it'll all have to be settled in federal court. But that'll be a lot of litigation down the road before all that happens. So
he can end up playing the whole year.
Yeah, he could, and probably would, is what I've heard.
So if he plays the whole year, Ken, with that offense and that defense, the offense is the defense best weapon because they got a running game and they got the best offensive line in football.
Sure, they can keep that defense off the field. So
if the Panthers got the best linebacker crew in football, then Dallas got the best offensive line in football.
I won't argue with either one of those statements.
So my thing is they'll run the football, they'll pound it, and then they'll take a little Cole Beasley and Switzer and they'll put them out there and they'll play action pass and Dak will hit Dez Bryant down the field for a big touchdown. So they got what it takes. Their offense is a Super Bowl offense, no doubt about it.
What's your biggest concern on the defensive side? Is it secondary or is it
my biggest concern?
Pass rush.
Pass rush, of course. That's everybody. Your secondary can be weak if you got a pass rush.
Sure.
Because your pass rush makes your secondary better. So, but I think what Dallas is going in, they're thinking the opposite. They know they don't have a strong pass rush, so they got to have really good. Scandrick, he's healthy. He looks great. Shelby, Awuzie, he's a rookie. They're going to have a couple of rookies back there. Byron Jones. I don't know how they're going to play. I don't know if they're going to put him. I think they're going to put him at safety. So therefore, he'll cover the tight end that comes out of the backfield. I think that's what they'll do.
Well, I know you stated that Jalen Smith, who had the serious injury, is going to play.
They're not going to run him out there fast, Ken. I'm going to tell you that.
And you say they're going to ease him into it. I don't know. They may just put him out there and let him go.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think they can. They can't afford to lose him. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but is he not healthy enough to really play?
He's healthy. Yes, he's healthy enough. But I don't. It's a tough situation. Is he really 100%?
If he's not,
nobody knows except the Cowboys.
Well,
Yeah. Can he help the Cowboys? Yes, he will. If he's 100%, he might be the best football player on defense. Sean Lee, to me, if Sean Lee can stay healthy for the next few years, he might be Hall of Fame.
Yep. And
he's like Luke Kuechly.
Yeah. And the thing about Smith, I know his skills was undoubtedly.
Oh, yeah.
He would have been the number one pick in the draft if he had
top 5 without a doubt.
If he had not got hurt. The question is, will he be back?
Will the knee hold up?
Will he be back to what he was, or he's maybe 90% of what he was?
Ken,
nobody knows, Tim, until you get out there and you go through the process and see what happens.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I can't make. They're saying if he's 95%, he's better than probably if you got 20 linebackers. If he's 95%,
I know the Cowboys got him late in the draft. Where did they draft him at?
Second round.
Second round. He dropped the second round, and they grabbed him.
He got the first pick, second round. Yes. So they took. They took
that chance. They took that chance.
The doctors did the surgery in Texas. The Dallas Cowboys doctors did the surgery. So they had inside information without a doubt. So they knew that this young man was going to be able to play. You know, it was not so much about your knee. It's your nerve. It's the nerve. You had drop foot, so that's the key to it right there.
And of course, there's a mental aspect of coming back once you've had a serious knee injury like that as well.
Absolutely. I mean, you can have you can bang your knee up, stuff like that, get surgery, stuff, ACL, whatever, and come back and be healthy and be as good as new. But your nerve, Ken, when you kill your nerve, when your nerve is not, regenerating, or if it's not, clicking like it should, it doesn't matter, man. You can have the best leg in the world. If you got a bad nerve, you're in trouble.
Yes.
So I think Dallas is going to be fine. Record. Let's make some picks before we leave.
Okay.
I picked Dallas over Giants. Panthers.
Oh, Panthers beat the 49ers by 2 touchdowns at least.
Okay. How about Patriots and Chiefs? Who you taking?
I'm going to take the Patriots.
I'm going to take the Chiefs.
Okay.
I'm taking the Chiefs.
I'll pick the Patriots, but I'll probably cheer for the Chiefs.
I like Patriots. Don't get me wrong. I'm picking the Chiefs. Who else? Let's see. Who's some other games? Who's the Redskins play? I'm picking against them.
I don't know. I have to look. I can't remember.
Philadelphia. Who do they play?
I'm not sure who Philly opens with.
I can't remember.
I had to look at the schedule.
Yeah.
I didn't look at all the games.
Next week we'll have our schedule. We'll make some picks here on the Best in Sports.
Yeah, we'll make some picks and maybe make some picks of who's going to win each division. We might get even that far.
We can do that. Yeah, absolutely. We can
take a guess at it. It's early. Things would change.
My Cowboys.
Well,
listen.
I wouldn't think anything else.
Tampa Bay. Andre, he's big. Works here at KTC Broadcasting. He's a big Tampa Bay Bucks fan. So of course he's picking the Bucks. The Bucks are going to be pretty good, Ken.
They're going to be pretty good. I really think it's going to be the Panthers and Bucks rather than Atlanta and New Orleans in that division.
Well, how can you disclude the Atlanta Falcons after what they did last year? And they didn't lose anybody.
Because they lost. Because they lost when they were ahead in the Super Bowl.
Well, I agree with you. Yes, and they lost their offensive coordinator too, who's Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, they lost several of the coaches. So we'll see. It's a guessing game. I think Atlanta will be a pretty good team. I don't think they'll be what they were last year.
They got a good quarterback, Ken. They do. This kid's good,
but he's been there a long time. He's only gone to the Super Bowl once.
Yeah, I agree with you. All righty, that's going to do it for the Best in Sports right here on a rainy day. Rainy day bells. How about that, Ken? Some Harlem Globetrotters there for you. I'm Tim Johnson, Ken Link. We're here every Wednesday on 1590 WCSL AM, KT's Broadcasting. You guys have a great rest of the week. We'll see you here next Wednesday.